What's up, mofos? Just gonna do a little review on the Sterno Inferno camp stove. My power was out for a couple days and I didn't have my bigger camp stove, so I used this little backpacking one to like heat water up and stuff. Got the power on now, but thought I would give a little review on this. So it kind of comes in a little container. It's kind of contained. This is like the lid here. Take that off. This is the base, and you've got this little pot, which is pretty cool. It's like it's marked on the inside with the ounces, 16 ounce right there. It's got in here, here that's where you put the little Sterno can. So I don't even really know what this stuff is. I think it's like, I don't know, denatured alcohol or something. I don't know. So this says 2.25 hour burn time. So this is a brand new one. I'll show you kind of the different levels, how long it takes with ones that are more burnt down. So that's one that's been used a bunch. Anyway, we'll try starting off, boil some water with this one that's brand new. So, fire this thing up. Just kind of see if I can get this going here. We can get some matches that work here. Finally got a match to light. So you just kind of light this. See, that thing's raging immediately. And then I probably should have put it in beforehand. So it uses, I think it actually like uses more conduction through the metal than anything. Need some water. This water's kind of cold, so we're going to start with like 16 ounces. See how long that takes. Actually, it's probably room temperature water. Shouldn't be too bad. Put the old lid on and let's wait and see. Alright, Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes, I would say. And now it's finally starting to like rage. Straight up boil. So, not too bad. I mean, it'll get hot enough it starts to get really hot within like 5 to 8 minutes, 5-7 minutes, something like that, where you could use it for like coffee if you don't need boiling water. I'm going to take this off here. Obviously, you got to be super careful. This lid kind of falls off as well, so you got to be careful with that. Take it off. So that's definitely boiling, steaming. As you can see, this thing's raging because it's brand new, and you kind of snuff it out with this thing. You don't want to blow it out, just snuff it out. So, about 10 minutes, that was boiling hard, and that's 16 ounces. If you do 8 ounces, obviously it's going to be a lot less time. It usually takes like 5 minutes if you're just doing like a cup of coffee or something like that. So it's not bad. Works pretty well. I mean, I've boiled eggs in there. I've, put pasta in there. It takes longer than, obviously a regular stove or, a jet boil or something like that. But this is not much, this is probably about the same weight as like a jet boil or an REI kind of backpacking stove. These things are super cheap. It's like $25-$30. The thing I like about it the most is you can get these Sterno things pretty much anywhere. You can buy them at usually at like gas stations and stuff. So if you run out of fuel, you can just go pick some up. So I'm going to try with one of these. See, this is pretty much done. You might be able to use it a little bit. It takes a lot longer when they're low like this. I'm going to try with this. I think I'm going to try with this one. See how long it takes. This thing is probably about halfway. And you got to kind of stir that stuff up. You can also, they don't recommend it, but I've used these. I don't know what the difference is. This is like a liquid in here. It's got a wick. This doesn't get, the flame isn't as strong. Somebody just gave me a bunch of these, so I've been using them. These will probably take like at least 15 minutes to boil. The thing is, these last 6 hours. So if you have time and you're not in a rush, you could use these things, and you don't have to pack as many of these. It's going to take longer to boil, but these will last much longer. So let's try the halfie. Okay, I got the halfie lit. It's going pretty good. Sometimes, like, I had to stir that up. It's starting to get hot. This is not the way to do it, but for demonstration purposes, that's what I'm doing. So it's going pretty good. See if it takes significantly longer. All right, so here we go, about 3:30. Okay, so as we're waiting, I'm just playing with some fire here. This one's still boiling. So this one is, I had to really mix it up to light it, and you can see the flame is a lot less. So it goes way down when this thing, like, I think that it might have even went out. So this is probably done. Then you got these, not too hot. So that gives you a pretty good flame, but it's just not as big, so it takes longer. It still does work though. Like I said, they don't recommend using anything other than these Sterno cans, so do it at your own risk. But these last a long time. You got to pull out that wick a little bit. So, okay, about 12 minutes in. It's boiling pretty good. I'm realizing there's a clock right here as well. I didn't need to do this the whole time, but whatever. So it's going pretty good. It was getting hot enough for like coffee, I would say, at like 10 minutes. So that's using like one that's burnt down probably about halfway. I've used it quite a bit. So it definitely slows down the more you use these things. So all in all, not a bad little stove. I mean, this is what I use for backpacking. I don't have like a jet boil thing. I don't do a whole lot of backpacking, but it works for my purposes. And you can get this Sterno anywhere. That's the main bonus to me. It's just as light as the other ones. It's probably not as compact, but I don't know. It works fine for me. A little bit slower, but still pretty good.